Okay, let's see. Trader Joe's just settled a class action lawsuit. Pete Hegseth is now quoting Quentin Tarantino's Pulp Fiction. Shannon Elizabeth is joining OF now. Lieutenant Governor Justin Fairfax just his whole family and himself. Let's get into some of the top news going on today. All right, I want to start off with the Trader Joe's settles a $7.4 million lawsuit. Basically anybody that used a credit card at Trader Joe's in 2019 could be eligible to get a payout from them from this class action lawsuit. And I want to talk about this first because even if you click out and you're like, I don't want to listen to this random guy talk about things going on in the world right now, you leave with this knowledge that you could possibly get like an extra $100 or so. And the lawsuit's pretty interesting to me because what happened is Trader Joe's printed too many numbers of your credit card on their receipts back then. And they're saying that could have led to identity theft, credit card theft, whatever, because there's just too many numbers now of your credit card on their receipt. Supposedly no one has lost their identity or has any sort of fraud from this, but someone looked at the receipt, thought to themselves that's too many numbers, filed a lawsuit. They found themselves an attorney to take up this case. The attorney fees, I thought is very interesting, is like $2 million. So whatever the Trader Joe's has to pay out, $2 million goes straight to attorneys. That's you got to hand it to them. That's who's been to Trader Joe's, saw the receipt, thought nothing of it. Some guy looked at the receipt, that's too many numbers, bam, he just made these attorneys an extra $2 million and pocket himself an extra like $10K or so. Insane. Like sometimes you see these stories and you wonder, that could have been me. Like I don't know if you guys have heard of like these stories of people that they go into like bathrooms and stuff at different like restaurants and they get out a ruler and they're not disabled, but they'll like go and they'll measure like how high the mirror is, how far the sink is, what is the gap in the bathroom, the porta potties and whatnot, like the stalls. They'll measure the gap on the bottom. If it's too low or too high, they can get a lawsuit, because if the stalls too low, they're basically saying that if there's an emergency, you cannot crawl underneath it. So that's a hazard. And then boom, lawsuit. All right, the next thing I want to get into is the Pete Hegseth, Secretary of War Defense, Pete Hegseth, basically using Ezekiel 25:15 from Pulp Fiction in a sermon or speech that he did this morning.
They call it Caesar 25:17,
Okay.
which I think is meant to reflect Ezekiel 25:17.
Well, there's this passage I got memorized. Sort of fits this occasion. Ezekiel 25:17.
The path of the downed aviator
The path of the righteous man
is beset on all sides
is beset on all sides
by the iniquities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men.
by the iniquities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men.
And I will strike down upon thee with
And I will strike down upon thee with
great vengeance and furious anger
great vengeance and furious anger
those who attempt to capture and destroy my brother.
those who attempt to poison and destroy my brother.
And you will know my call sign
And you will know my name
is Sandy One
is the Lord
when I lay my vengeance.
when I lay my vengeance upon
Upon
thee.
And amen. So this prayer was recited by Sandy One, which is one of the Sandys, to all Sandys, all those A-10 crews, prior to all CSAR missions, but especially this CSAR mission that happened in real time.
All right, so the media is going crazy over this because they're saying that he that this verse doesn't even exist in the Bible, that Quentin himself, exaggerated the quote to make it longer. So Samuel Jackson, one of the greatest scenes of movie history, right? This is Pulp Fiction. Pulp Fiction is actually one of my favorite movies of all time. We'll talk about that another time. But if you listen to what he's saying, Pete is actually just quoting what the rescue team says before they go out on a mission. So I don't know. I feel like the media's blowing this up way too much, because listen to what he said. He's just re-quoting what the rescue team says before they go out on mission, and they use this quote from they just changed this thing from Pulp Fiction. So I don't know. I still think it's funny, but I don't know. The media is making it way bigger than it has to be. Okay, the next story I want to get into is ex-Lieutenant Governor Justin Fairfax just himself and his wife. Apparently he was going through a messy divorce, and if you don't know who this guy is, he was a Democratic lieutenant governor from 2018 to 2022 in Virginia, and he eventually had to step down because he was facing 2 allegations of sexual misconduct. And he tried to run again later on for governor, and he got in 4th place. And then from that point to here, you don't really know who he is anymore until this moment here. So I don't know what to say about this besides it's terrible. Apparently their teenage child was the one that called 911. It's terrible. I mean, I think more about the children, their teenage children that found, they're the ones that have to clean up the mess now of the parents. It makes me very sad to hear that, because their lives are all screwed up now. I mean, what can you do? This is, whatever path that their children were on from there, big U-turn for a moment. Who knows where that's going to end up for them, but that's the part that really makes me sad. I mean, from what I can tell about this guy, I mean, I don't know him. I'm pretty sure you don't know him. Who, once you step out of office, it's kind of like you're off the planet, off the face of the earth. So he's been gone for a long time, and then all of a sudden he's popping up the news now for this. It's, what can you say? Is what I can tell is, hey, once, I have to say this, I guess, once you get caught with like being a scumbag cheater in a relationship, it's really hard to come back, because if you're still with the same partner, your wife, girlfriend, whoever, is gonna file that in the back of their mind for the rest of their lives. And any little thing that you do, they're gonna bring it back up, and it's gonna become an argument. Like, you look at some girl the wrong way, boom, in the back of her mind, he's back at it. You know what I mean? So there's, I don't know, some people say that you can forgive and forget if your partner cheats on you or does some scumbaggery like this. And I'm not saying that he was, I'm not gonna look in too much into it. But he was accused and he stepped down, so there must have been something. Once you get that happens, there's always this dark cloud, and I'm pretty sure that dark cloud followed him into their relationship, and maybe he just couldn't take it anymore. He had enough. He couldn't find a way out, and just decided to end it all. And I just feel bad for his children. The last story I want to talk about is apparently Shannon Elizabeth. You may know her from American Pie. She plays Nadia from American Pie. Is joining OF, and I don't know how I feel about this one. It feels like this is part of, like, how they say like everything comes back around, and it feels like we're going through a like 90s, early 2000s kind of like resurgence. Like everything that was popular in the 90s, early 2000s is coming back. Maybe because people that have money now, or the discretionary spenders are now at this age where they want to go back and look back at nostalgia times. And nostalgia times for that generation is, you know, American Pie. And, you know, she was a big crush for a lot of people. And her career, I mean, who knows what she's been doing since then. But, you know, I'm pretty sure her career is not going as well as she thought it would be. And, you know, she's coming back around and she decides to kind of like suck some money out from the world. I still don't understand the appeal. I've never understood it. But, you know, who else is on there? Denise Richards is on there as well now. And supposedly she makes like up to $2 million a month. And, you know, she's from that era as well. She was every boy growing up in like the early 90s, 2000s, had a huge crush on Denise Richards, right? Starship Troopers and whatnot. Like, she was a big thing. And now she's rocking it on there. And, you know, maybe Shannon saw that and said, hey, I could do that too. And there she is. I mean, it's like, the world's just crazy now because like I said, everything from the 90s and stuff is coming back. And I literally just talked about how the most popular toy right now is a stress ball. And if you know the needle, it's like sweeping through the nation right now. It's the new thing. And it's literally just a stress ball. And I was thinking to myself that if you were growing up in like the Toys R Us era, stress balls was the junk that you would see at the front of the Toys R Us or the bargain bin aisle, or the just the crap that you would get at like like as a party favor or whatever. Even as a party favor, you kind of like, why are you giving me a stress ball? But that's the thing now. That's what all the kids want. And it's maybe everything is just coming back around. Who knows? I don't know. I just thought I'd throw this out there. She's gonna start her page. What's this? I'm recording this on the 16th today, apparently. So if you have time, I guess, and have extra money to spend for no reason, go check out Shannon Elizabeth's OF page. I don't know. That's just a few of the top stories that I saw that are trending today. Let me know what you guys think.